This is a post about Miles Morales. Unfortunately, it's not a very happy one. It's a post about racism, so if you're going to respond to this in any way with, oh my god, the social justice, fuck right off. Just seriously, close it out, go away. This is a post about racism as it affects people in and out of fandom spaces, about why Miles Morales, as a small black child, as a fictional character under the age of his majority, is pretty much loved at this point, when other characters who are black are not loved at all. Okay? Got that? If you are going to respond to this with, oh my gosh, I don't feel the same way, I'm black but I'm white, and you are ignoring the message to focus on something I'm not even saying, close the video. Okay? Let's do this. Miles Morales, when he first came onto the scene a couple years ago, he was maybe a year and a half, because they mentioned him. There were all these plans for this new Spider-Man, you know? And then they go, everybody's excited, you know? And then they go, he's going to be black. He's going to be little, he's going to be black. People lost their shit. Lost it. The level of racism in the posts, in the internet forums, in the back of the Spider-Man books about Miles was disgusting. These were grown men, grown women going, oh, you just want to fill a status quo, you just want to make sure all of the people are happy. They were refusing to read Ultimate Spider-Man because there was going to be a black Spider-Man. There is no way to pretend that's not the truth, because it is. Right? But here we are in 2012, and Miles is okay. His book's not selling as much as I would like it to, but he's a pretty popular character, especially in fandom. Fandom loves him. They draw him with Steve, they draw him with Tony, they give him not as much attention as they would give Peter, which that's a story for another day, but they do stuff with him. He's used in fandom, he's cute, and he's loved. Whereas characters such as Bishop or even Calder in Young Justice do not get the same amount of love. You know, they do not. If you notice, Miles gets specific love. He gets, oh, he's so cute, I just want to squish his face, he's a baby. Other characters, and with Miles, that's across the board. Until you get the overt racism you get, I still don't believe that it's politically correct. With other characters, they don't get fandom responses like that. They hardly get fandom responses. Black characters do not really get stuff like that. And why? It's in part, aside from the fact, it's in part because of the fact that Miles is a young black child. He is not sexually mature. He is not a threat to anyone's manhood, because he does not have one. He is not worthy, he's not being looked upon as a man. He is a small child. He is seriously not threatening, right? He doesn't fit into stereotypes about threatening black men. He's tiny. I think I'm taller than him, and I'm only 5'4.5". Like, he's tiny. He does not represent a physical threat. He is desexualized in the narrative, and I wrote about that in a post I'll link to at the bottom, because I'm just going to rehash this and talk about specific things, but he is desexualized in the narrative. He does not have any crushes, like any serious crushes. He does not have, because he would be hitting puberty right about now. He does not have any scenes where he looks at people he may or may not be attracted to. Look at them, like, you know, the walking past the pretty girl and his eyes look at hers and he's just like hit by, oh, hey, I'm maturing now. There's none of that. With Peter and Ultimate Spidey, we had constant reminders that this young white boy was growing up and maturing, you know, if not entirely mentally, sexually, as in romantically, he was getting these urges, and with his powers, you know. All we have with Miles are his powers. That is how he's maturing. You have that he's where fandom doesn't touch other black guys, like, at all. Like, it's super sexualized or not mentioned at all. You don't have serious conversations about Calder or Meta, you know. You don't have, oh wow, Calder's really attractive, I'd like to like write about him, you know. With Miles, you have all of this, oh, he's so cute, people are cooing, it's really, really cute, because Miles is really cute. It is that the narrative and the art style work together to make this completely unthreatening little black boy. And he's not a threat. He's not a threat to your ships. He's not a threat to your manhood if you're a white man. He's not a threat to your chastity, to your purity as a woman, as a white woman. He isn't black. He's my color about. He's not very dark. So he's not playing into ingrained stereotypes about black people. He goes to a magnet school, a charter school, I think. He goes to a very good school. He is like middle class. You know how on Nickelodeon and Disney, everybody's middle class, and their specific kind of middle class, you know? Everybody's parents have good jobs, 2 cars, have their own rooms and stuff. He is set up as this sweet little nugget of neutrality. He doesn't do anything that would make you go, is this because of his race? But the whole point of the matter is that whole way that they're handling, the way that the company is pushing him at people, is that he's not to be connected with his race, right? He is not even close to being sexually mature, right? And we're talking about fandoms where underage shipping, right, is like really high. The comics fandom is notorious for the way that, well, you ship what you want. You go get shit for it, as we saw in the Damian Wayne tag. Well, see, constantly, right? You ship what you want, and you get shit back from it, right? Depending on how you're shipping. And it's not always fun. But Miles doesn't get shipped. Look at the characters that you see being shipped and at their ages. And Miles doesn't get shipped. He gets friendships, he gets romances, he gets hugs, he gets all of these hugs. He's infantilized? I can't ever say that word properly. But he gets treated as though he is our little brother, right? We aren't supposed to see more of that, you know, in him. And we have this whole issue where in the same book we're being told, yay, we have a black Spider-Man, but he's not really a man. He's not really someone he doesn't have his own agency. He's 13, you know. He can think for himself up to a point, and then society doesn't let him. And add to the fact that he is black, and society just doesn't want to hear what a black man has to think, you know. Like, there's so many issues with how the fact that Miles is in part being liked because he's a completely non-threatening black kid. Completely unthreatening. I wouldn't be afraid of him, like, at all. Even after he like would hit me, if I was a villain, I'd be like, oh, poor baby, you had to hit me. That's it. Right? You see the difference in the way that, I guess, white passing characters, like his Damian Wayne, we know he's Arabic. We know that his mother is Talia al Ghul, and that his grandfather is Ra's al Ghul. You know he's Arabic, right? But the art often presents him with pale features. He's another Bruce clone. He is half Arabic, right? And I think there's Chinese in him, little Chinese, because I think that was a backstory thing. But the narrative presents him as white for a very large amount of time, and as it does with his mother, with Talia. And you have this white passing character at the same age as Miles Morales is, and you have meta, you have blogs about how he's this, how he's that, how he's so great, how he's so awful. You have analysis of every single panel Damian Wayne is in, and he doesn't have his own book. You know, he doesn't actually have a current volume of his individual work to go, oh, this kid is by himself, let's talk about his contributions. You have a distinct lack of focus on his race, right? It's, oh, Damian's not white, and nobody thinks about it, nobody talks about it, right? Unless you're a person of color, or you are a white ally going, oh, hey, this is a cool thing to think about in terms of race, you know, and how this is playing out. You know, Miles has his own book, has had serious interest drummed up about his book, about his character. Where the hell is his meta? Where are people writing paragraphs in the tags about how Miles is a little baby and how when he grows up he's going to be so awesome, how he's going to be with the Ultimates? Where are the people giving a shit about Miles once he's older? Right? Everybody can tell you like 6 different future stories for Damian Wayne. Everybody can tell you plans for these little white characters, you know, that exist in the canon, in the narrative. But when they're grown up, what about Miles? Like, you have this really, really annoying focus on the fact that Ultimate Spider-Man is a book that's made up of mainly characters of color, right? His family is Black Hispanic family. I think his mother's from Puerto Rico. His family is not white. His friends are not white. The majority of the people you see on the pages are not white. Like, I think the most recent, you know, the most recent white character was Captain America. Like, you occasionally see the Ultimates, you know, and you see May Parker, and you see Mary Jane, and what is her name? Gwen Stacy. You see them briefly. The majority of this book, though, deals with brown people and brownness, and there's identity going on in there, but fandom skims off the top. You get to Miles is cute, and then nothing here. It's, oh, that poor baby, and then they stop thinking about him, you know? And when you have to deal with the fact, when you look at the fact that Miles is pretty popular as a character, but then you think about why he's not threatening, he's cute, and I'm repeating myself because I'm trying to get it to sink in that a lot of the reason why Miles is getting so much love, and it's a specific kind of non-sexual, super paternal, I don't know what's going to happen to him in the future, but oh, look at the baby kind of love. You know, it's tied into the fact that he is innocent, and he will always be innocent until the point where he exhibits maturity, you know, sexual, romantic maturity, because then he'll be a threat. Then he will actually be a threat worthy of all of those things. That, you know, he won't be shipped. You know, people will lose interest because look at Luke Cage. How many years have people been asking for Luke Cage anything? You know, he's actually a popular character, but where's the meta? Where's the ships? Where's the analysis of his issues? You know, I don't see stuff like that coming from the majority of fandom. I don't see people talking about Misty Knight, I believe. I don't see people talking about her. What about Batwing? Batwing is actually a really good counter to, like, Miles is cute and little and innocent. Fandom loves him, but look at Batwing. Look at David as an actual adult, an adult male African character, right? Gorgeous man. Like, I would ship him till I died. All of the ships, right? But where's the media? Where, in fan art, you see everyone else. I think I've actually seen a piece where, like, the Bat family was done, and they had, I think, Azrael. They had Azrael in it, and no David. You know, if you have to stretch to ignore a character, you're kind of fucking up. The whole fact of the matter is, David is sexually attractive. Okay, so we have David, we have Static, we have Mr. Terrific, right? These 3 characters are black adult males in DC Comics. Okay, adult-ish, because Static's a teenager, but sexually mature human beings, right? Or maturing in Static's case. And fandom, which claims able to ship everything, which says planets are shippable, UPS mail trucks are shippable, tea brands are shippable, does not touch them. They don't write meta, they don't go, oh, hey, I can ship this. And when you go, oh, hey, well, why don't you ship it? They give you these excuses. Oh, hey, well, it's because David doesn't have anyone to ship him with. It's, It's, well, he's in Africa. It's, well, I don't know. Like, okay, if you don't ship David and Dick Grayson, what's wrong with you? Like, really? Like, you will be handed these ships. You see these ships that you're handed, especially with people of color, you're handed these ships that you can write, that you can think about, right? And the excuses given by white fandom majority is, oh, there's not enough information. It's too hard. I don't know his character. If you can ship 2 minor white dudes in the background of a show, you can ship 2 comic book characters that have interacted on like several issues. Like, it is part of the problem is that sexually aggressive black males, sexually available, you know, men who are adults, who are attractive and black at the same time, are not interesting to fandom. And I mean, the simple answer is in racism. It's in you. It's your brain's going, oh, well, it's just a black dude. And that part is not just white people doing it. It is people of color in fandom who've been told repeatedly that they're not attractive. Blackness isn't attractive. Asian heritage isn't attractive except when it's stereotyped and fitted to specific narratives. You know, your heritage isn't attractive. You're being told that you are not attractive. In my post, when I'm talking about the shipping, because nobody ships Miles with anyone. I mean, and I know people are like, oh my god, he's just a kid. Well, nobody's aging Miles up to ship him with anyone then, right? You are seeing all of these white characters getting so much love, whether or not they are sexually or romantically mature in their body of work. They're getting all of the ships, all of this love. And I wrote, it's like the whole, when you're a person of color, especially when you're not a specific kind of person of color, you get told, you're cute, you're cool, but I wouldn't date you because you're black. Or, oh, I'm sorry, I don't date black girls. I don't date Hispanic girls. I don't date outside of my race, right? And then you come to fandom and you're being told again, well, this character's really cute. Miles is such a cute little guy, but, well, I can't ship him. And then you go, well, age him up then if it's about age. Well, there's no one to ship him with. We know what you're talking about. Just saying. I'm gonna end the video now, but this is only a part of it. So if you have another reason why Miles is so easily accepted by fandom, you know, tell me. If you in fact want to tell me that you don't feel the same way at all, that I'm possibly the most racist person on Tumblr, that I take things too seriously, fuck off. That's how that works.